Thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate you being here. We are here this morning to share information about the tragic crash that occurred on Saturday that resulted in 3 deaths. Behind me are 4 speakers, and I think each of you have received a speaker guide with their names and their position and the agency they're with. We are actually going to change the order. Speaking first will be Investigator Michael Hicks from the National Transportation Safety Board. Following Investigator Hicks will be Sheriff Nicole Morrissey O'Donnell, followed by Gresham Fire Chief Scott Lewis, and he'll be followed by Fairview Mayor Keith Kuderna. Sheriff Morrissey O'Donnell. Actually, before the sheriff comes up, so each speaker does have a prepared statement to share. At the end of the last statement, we'll take some questions, and we ask you that you hold your questions until that time. I do also want to mention that, excuse me, we will not be taking questions regarding the identity of the deceased. We've been in communication with the medical examiner's office this morning. The official identification has not been made on those individuals, and so we are waiting for the process to be completed and then make sure that next of kin notifications are completed, and then at that time we'll release the names of the deceased. So now I'll welcome Sheriff Morrissey O'Donnell. I'm sorry, we changed the order. Michael Hicks, NTSB investigator.
Greetings, Michael Hicks, National Transportation Safety Board. I'm joined by Kristen Blocker. We're with the National Transportation Safety Board, Office of Aviation Safety, Western Pacific Region. NTSB is charged with investigating every accident within the United States and our territories. Our job today is to collect perishable information. Perishable information is any information that can disappear as a matter of time within the environment. We'd like to send our condolences to the family and the friends of the deceased. What we know thus far, as of Saturday, August 31st, about 10:25 a.m., November 421 Gulf Papa departed runway 25, Troutdale Airport, on a maintenance test flight. During that maintenance test flight, the pilot reported issues with controllability. What those issues are, we are going to find out. Shortly after reporting the issues, a helicopter pilot in the Robinson R-22 indicated that the aircraft, November 421 Gulf Papa, impacted a residential area. We still have a lot of work to do. Our investigation will take up to 18 months. So, with regard to the deceased, we'll leave those details to MCSO. We have work to do, and we're going to do it diligently. I have to say thank you to the community, to the Sheriff Department, to local fire, and especially the community, given the fact that they've shown us an unyielding, unwavering faith that we all could learn from. Thank you for your time. We're getting back to work.
Thank you, Investigator Hicks. Now I'll introduce Sheriff Nicole Morrissey O'Donnell.
I'm Nicole Morrissey O'Donnell, Multnomah County Sheriff, and I appreciate your time today. First, I want to share that we are deeply saddened by the tragic loss of our 3 community members, and our hearts go out to the family and friends who are grieving this tragic loss. We are committed to supporting the families during this difficult time, and we are helping our partners, many of those who are by my side today, to find out what happened and provide answers to our community. At approximately 10:20 Saturday morning, through 911 dispatch, first responders were notified of the crash. Multnomah County deputy sheriffs and Gresham firefighters responded to this neighborhood in Fairview. When deputies arrived, they found several townhomes on fire. Our deputies went door to door, evacuating people inside, grabbing garden hoses to begin dousing the flames until firefighters arrived. Deputies also notified our detectives who responded to help with containment of the debris field and coordinated with our federal partners. We also notified the Trauma Intervention Program, or TIP. TIP is a volunteer-based program that provides emotional first aid to survivors of tragedy. TIP volunteers were present on Saturday and throughout the weekend helping our community begin processing and healing from this horrific and tragic event. And we greatly appreciate TIP's response and their assistance during this very critical time. For those who were displaced by the crash and subsequent fire, the American Red Cross was also activated to offer resources based on their needs. Several other law enforcement agencies and fire departments, some of which are here today, also responded to provide additional resources, such as drone coverage and fire support, and we are grateful for their response and collaboration. We all rely on our partners and our community to come together during these critical times, and we're here to support and serve our community each and every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Morrissey O'Donnell. Now we will hear from Gresham Fire Chief Scott Lewis.
Good morning, everyone. We're deeply saddened by the harrowing events that happened this weekend. Any loss of life is tragic, and our hearts go out to those impacted by this accident. As first responders, we are not strangers to tragedy. However, that does not mean we become complacent or that they become easier to endure. What I have come to realize during my time in this profession is to focus on what we can be grateful for during these dark moments. There are moments of gratitude in every situation, and that's what I choose to focus on today. I'm extremely grateful for all of our regional partners who showed up at a moment's notice to assist the Gresham Fire Department and the City of Fairview during this incident. Specifically, Portland Fire and Rescue, Vancouver Fire Department, Corbett Fire District, Clackamas Fire District 1, the Port of Portland Airport Fire Department, American Medical Response, and as the Sheriff mentioned, Trauma Intervention Program and the American Red Cross. Their steadfast aid was critical to ensure that this incident was quickly contained and not become exponentially worse, while they also helped cover the service area of the Gresham Fire Department. I'm exceedingly proud of the Gresham Fire Department, and I'm honored to be their chief. Their bravery, dedication, and selfless resolve to protection of life of others is definitive. I am thankful to know first responders were injured this weekend, and please know the value of our first responders and they bring to this organization is unmatched. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chief Lewis. Now I'll introduce City of Fairview Mayor Keith Kuderna.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being out here. My name is Keith Kuderna. I'm the mayor of Fairview. First, I want to express our heartfelt thanks to the first responders who came here to prevented this from becoming much more dangerous and much more widespread than it could have been. I want to thank the aforementioned first responders who took care of us. I want to thank the NTSB and the FBI that has come in to investigate, to make sure that they understand what happened. And our hearts, our thoughts, and our prayers go out to those who are injured, displaced, or just affected by this tragic event. I do want to assure people that water service has been continuous through this experience, sewer service as well, and we will continue to remain here for the residents in this community. Lastly, I would just like to thank the residents of Fairview, the residents of Fairview Terrace, and the greater area. I have seen a lot of outpouring of love and support coming out to the victims, and it makes me proud to represent them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. We also have with us Multnomah County Commissioner Lori Stegman, who would like to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to offer my condolences to the lives and the family members that lost lives this past week. Fairview is a small, tight community, and I know that it will take some time, and that we all need to lean on one another so that our community can recover from this tragic event. And I am so grateful to our first responders who you've heard from today, who constantly run into burning buildings and not away. And I just want to thank the mayor and all of the citizens for supporting our community at this time, and especially Trauma Intervention Program, who is really here to support those individuals in such a traumatic time. So thank you, and Multnomah County will continue to do whatever we can to support the community.
Thank you, Commissioner. I also want to let you know that following this press conference, we will be releasing a fairly comprehensive information release, be a compilation of some of the information that was shared today, as well as we have some information from Portland General Electric that we will share in regards to utilities and infrastructure. So we'll take some questions now. If you could say your name and your affiliate, and if you could identify who you're directing your question to, that'd be very helpful.
I have a question for whoever can answer it. Can you guys confirm the tail number of the plane?
I believe Investigator Hicks did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it the 421 GP? It happened so fast. I just didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't have it, and I can't speak to that. That's
Is NTSB coming back to the press conference?
They are not. No, they've opted to get back to work. They're not going to answer questions at this time. If you do have follow-up questions for the NTSB, you can forward those to their press office. And if you don't have that information, email me, pio@mcso.us, and I'll get you that email address. Other questions?
What kind of support, if any, might local authorities provide in collecting this perishable evidence that the NTSB talked about?
Again, that's a question to the investigation, and I can't speak to that.
How many 911 calls did you guys get?
Are you providing any support or helping in any way?
We are providing support in the field. We have collected evidence. I can't speak to any specifics about that.
How are you looking to collect that evidence? What are you doing?
We have people in the field collecting the physical evidence.
Knocking on doors, canvassing, or what type of activity?
Yes, all of the above.
How many 911 calls did you guys get to report the crash?
I don't know exactly, but there was multiple calls.
How many homes were destroyed from the crash and the flames, and is power back at these homes or the facilities?
Power, I spoke with PGE this morning. Power has been fully restored. I'll let Chief Lewis speak about the structures that were damaged.
Thank you for the question. This is a row of, I believe, 8 townhomes. So the main impact was the second townhome in, and we have severe damage to the one to the right and to the left. Those 3 are definitely destroyed. My guess is the 4th one is probably unrepairable. Beyond that, I believe they'll be able to make repairs to the next couple, and then the further away you are, you may not have any damage other than maybe a little smoke damage.
And was fire involved in getting people out?
By the time the fire department arrived, we did searches. We did our primary and then secondary searches. We did not make any rescues, though. Everybody was out by the time we got there. Everybody that could get out was out. I won't answer that question.
Yeah, Investigator Hicks answered that in his statement. It left from the Troutdale Airport on a maintenance flight.
Do you know what a maintenance, I mean, you think of maintenance flights to check the plane is working properly, but there must be more to that.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about aeronautics or airplanes. So, and that would be, again, maybe a question for NTSB.
When do you guys expect to wrap up in this neighborhood so these people can try and move on in their lives?
NTSB investigation.
Yeah, the NTSB investigation, as Investigator Hicks mentioned, he said it could take up to 18 months to complete that investigation. As far as residents whose homes were destroyed, the process of rebuilding those homes is going to start, and I don't know how long that will take.
Christian, Golden Vessel OPB. Can you talk a little bit about how the community is feeling? They obviously live right at the end of the runway, this all the time. How are people feeling about it?
I don't really think I can answer that question. I haven't spoken to the residents about that specifically. We've heard today that the residents have rallied to support and help each other. And I think, like you mentioned, they are used to airplanes flying overhead. Yeah. Any other questions?
Heather Roberts, the Oregon Radio News Network. Can you tell us how many people are accepting housing help from the Red Cross?
I do not have that information. Does anybody have that information?
I don't know. It was offered to many.
Yeah.
Several are with friends and family.
I can try to email me, will you please? And I'll try to make a connection for that. Okay, thank you, folks. We appreciate your being here.